going to tell you a story of the fisherman's dream. Once upon a time, there was a fisherman. He lived with his family in a small hut on a seacoast. The fisherman had a boat. Every morning, he would take his boat and go fishing into the deep sea. He earned his living by selling fish in the market and lived happily with his family. One morning, the fisherman suddenly felt very dispirited and gloomy. That day, he did not have fun with the children playing in the sand. This worried his wife. She asked him, "Why are you so depressed today? Are you not feeling well? Is anything bothering you?" The fisherman said,
Lakshmi, last night I had a beautiful dream. I dreamt that I was a king of a state and that you were my queen. We lived in a grand palace. I wore beautiful silk robes. I had a studded crown on my head and wore a beautiful silk robes. I had a studded crown on my head and I wore a diamond necklace. You too wore lovely silk clothes and you were bedecked with a golden necklace and bangles. We were sitting on the thrones, a royal court. Suddenly, our children came running to us and called out to me, "Father, Father!" I woke up with a start. When I looked around, I realized I was sleeping on my cot in a small hut. I wondered where my crown and my palace have disappeared. And look, your rich clothes have also disappeared. What a miserable life! Saying this, the fisherman began to weep.
The fisherman's wife was a sensible woman. She consoled her husband. "Do you realize that what you have been thinking about and crying for what was just a dream, but what you see before you now is the reality? This is our life. We have nothing to complain about. God has given us this nice little hut to live in. We own a boat too. God has given us two lovely children. In fact, God has given us everything a man needs to lead a happy life. Don't you think we are very happy?" The fisherman was convinced of his wife's explanation. A gleam of satisfaction and happiness crossed his face. Once again he became a cheerful man. He thanked his wife, kissed his children lovingly, and was engrossed in his daily work. The moral of the story is dreams are, after all, dreams. Contentment is the key of a happy life. The next story I'm going to tell you is Sonal's flower vase. One day, Sonal's father gave her a nice flower vase. Sonal was very happy because she was fond of flowers. The following morning, she went to the garden and plucked roses, jasmines, marigolds, and many other colorful flowers. She arranged them beautifully in her new flower vase and put it in the living room. The living room was well adorned with the flower vase, and the fragrance of the fresh flowers permeated the atmosphere. This became a daily routine for Sonal. One day, Sonal was sitting in the living room and playing with her pet cat. Suddenly, a stranger entered the room. The cat was so frightened to see him that she scampered out of the room. As she was going, her leg hit the flower vase and it broke into pieces. Sonal was furious with the cat. She picked up a stick and ran after the cat to hit her. But the cat swiftly ran out of the house and climbed up a tree in the garden. When Sonal saw the broken pieces of flower vase, she was so dejected that she cried the whole day. She even refused to eat. Her parents tried to console her, but it was all in vain. At last, Sonal's mother showed her the mirror and said, Sonal, look at your face in this mirror. Do you see how you look? When Sonal saw her face in the mirror, she was shocked. After a bath in the morning, when she stood in the front of the mirror, her face looked fresh and beautiful. But now her face looked ugly because she was full of anger and tears. She immediately turned her face away from the mirror. Crying, Sonal said, Mother, why do I look so ugly in the mirror? Sonal's mother cuddled her and said, My dear child, your face looks ugly because of your anger, but your soul becomes uglier than your face because when you get angry, the soul too is scared. Mother's kind and gentle words had a magical effect on Sonal. Sonal at once calmed down. She promised her mother that she would never get angry. The moral of the story is our anger hurts us more than anyone else. Never grieve over small losses.
If you like these stories, please subscribe, like, share, and comment.